And just like at the end of the 2013-14 fiscal year, we ended this first quarter in a very strong surplus position. And with another solid fiscal showing and a strong economy that continues to grow, we're sustaining our momentum. Now, Albertans, ministries, and the public service have worked very hard to gain this momentum. It's not luck that got us here today. It was the commitment of this government to a new way of doing things a year and a half ago. Albertans have told us, and told this government loud and clear, that we must continue to build the infrastructure to meet the demand for schools, hospitals, and roads that we need now. They've been comfortable borrowing to build, as long as rules are in place to limit this borrowing, which we have. And now, thanks to prudent spending and strong revenues, we are significantly lowering our expected borrowing for the year by almost $3 billion. Our strong fiscal position is the envy of others, I would say worldwide. We started the year in the black, and as you can see, we are expecting the numbers to keep improving.
Our calculation is that they're still $3 billion short. So now we have a budget update that is more confusing than ever before. They have three different numbers, calculating surpluses or deficits, but they don't have the one that I think everybody really wants to know, which is how Jim Dinning used to calculate the consolidated surplus when he began trying to fix the public impression of how bad the finances were when he came into the finance ministry back in the 1990s. So when you take the total amount of revenues in and the total amount of expenditures out, we are still $3 billion short. We are at a time when we are getting record revenues. We're getting $10 billion a year in resource revenue, and we have a government that is still not able to live within its means. We are on track to have $11 billion in debt by the end of this year. We are on track to have nearly $20 billion in debt by the time we get into the election in 2016. The reason why the public is so frustrated with the approach that the government takes is, number one, they're not honest, but secondly, they have demonstrated that they simply are not capable of managing our incredible wealth and our incredible resource wealth. There is absolutely no excuse for us to be running a shortfall this year. There's absolutely no excuse for us to be running deficits this year. It's bad management, plain and simple. It's kind of like the guy who continues to get significant pay increases every single year, but then continues to dip into his line of credit.
Well, at the last quarterly update, I called the government lucky idiots. I don't know how they manipulate international oil prices to fit the Alberta election cycle, but somehow they manage it term after term after term. It's clear from the figures that they've provided us that the vast majority of the improvement in Alberta's financial position relative to the budget is due to non-renewable resource revenue. And this continues to be a real problem because while it is up now, it will be down tomorrow. And unless we can get off the royalty roller coaster in terms of the funding of the province's services, then they're going to continue to be unstable. We're going to continue the situation where when the price of oil drops, we're laying off nurses and teachers, and we need to do better than that. Currently, 30% of program expenditures in this province is paid for from non-renewable royalty revenue, and it's extremely volatile. I'm not seeing any move or any direction on the part of this government to move towards a situation where royalty revenue is put aside for future generations and that we pay for our own services.